Welcome back to Trust and Truth. I'm your host, Justin, and this is Matt.
Today, we are going to be talking about a few different hot button topics right now. One of them being Venezuela, everything going on there with Trump, U.S., Maduro, what's going on. We're going to talk about it. And then next up, we have Zohran Mamdani, everything going on in New York, his inauguration. We're just going to dive right into it. So, Justin, you want to kick things off? Where do you want to start?
Let's just start with Venezuela.
Yeah.
Some big events happened. The greatest military excursion happened in Venezuela over the weekend. President Trump sent military into Venezuela to capture the sitting president or fraudulent president.
Definitely fraudulent. I mean, he kind of didn't win the main vote. That was Juan, what was his name?
Forget his last name.
Oh, you knew all this.
Forgot his last name. He's not important. He didn't win technically. He technically won. But let's just say Maduro rigged the votes so he would win, and 60% of Venezuelans didn't vote for him and hated him. So that's why you see in Venezuela the other day, all of them were cheering and partying in the city because they were liberated from a communist dictator.
Yeah, everyone likes to celebrate whenever a communist regime topples. So this is one where the U.S. had to get involved. They took out the communist leader, Maduro, who stole the election, essentially. He didn't win the popular vote, but he stole power, military control, political power, and was ruling the country and using the resources to rule the country. And they're not a rich country in a per capita sense, on a per person level.
3,000 GDP, something like that?
Yeah, the GDP ranges depending on the site. You might see as low as 3,000, might see up to maybe 8,000-ish per person. But regardless, that's not enough to live on for most people. Yes. And it's run by a dictator.
Yeah, so under Hugo Chavez in 1999, when he took over, it was at 4,000 GDP per year, and it's gone down to 1,000. So now it's 3,000 GDP per capita for Venezuelans in all throughout Venezuela.
Yeah, that's not enough to live on. So U.S. Trump decided, let's step up, let's help him out, because the other president that was elected who didn't get the control, it's been a mismanaged country to say the least.
Yeah, let's just say Maduro. Trump was trying to get him to step down for a while, and Trump thought he was going to get him to step down. But so Maduro was sending a lot of drugs into our country, and as you've seen over the news during the past couple months, Trump and his administration have been targeting Venezuelan boats trying to enter our waterways. So Maduro was sending drugs into the country, and a lot of people were fleeing. I think 25% of their global population or of their state population left. They flee. And if you know that area, the Darien Gap is one of the hardest, probably the worst mountain range to go through and foresty areas. So many people die, and they were just fleeing communism.
So yeah, when you have to run, it's similar like a North Korea situation. It's very communist. Everyone knows Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un. You've seen the interview, you've seen The Dictator, and some of these movies and shows, they relate, a little bit to life as we know it. So if you think about Venezuela, think of it almost like a Kim Jong-un situation where people are running from North Korea because of how bad the social environment, the social climate is in that country that they're living. Yeah,
and it's a lot of people in America right now, on the left are, protesting. I saw something that was really funny. It's like, oh, no kings protest until a dictator gets arrested. It's like, oh, no kings. But he was acting as a king pretty much, a dictator. He was taking all the oil money for himself. If you look at, Venezuela before, 1999, Venezuela was a very rich and oil-driven country.
Yeah, they're very industrial. They have a lot of natural resources. They have a ton of oil. That's going to be the big talk about Venezuela is the oil. Granted, they only produce roughly around 1% of the world's oil, but they have the capabilities to produce 300 billion or something like that, 303 billion. It's some crazy number of how much oil they're able to produce, and they can scale up those production capabilities. It's just being run so poorly right now by Maduro, so we need to kind of get the systems in place so that way Venezuela can help contribute more to the world economy that we live in. And this also shifts some ties between Russia and China with Venezuela toppling, because that's a communist regime. So that's showing some weakness on Chinese and Russian involvement. So it's going to be some more geopolitical things in play here, I think, on a bigger scale, beyond just looking at Venezuela and just looking at like, oh, U.S. is running Venezuela for the time being, but there's bigger long-term implications at play that people aren't thinking about.
Yeah, and it's communism doesn't work, and this is the prime example of seeing that communism doesn't work. And so any of the people on the left that says communism works and get rid of individualism, which we'll talk about later in our next topic, are wrong. Capitalism works. Capitalism is how we all have so much money instead of having no money. You have the freedom to do whatever you want.
It's exactly the word I was going to use, Justin. So freedom. I think that's the best word. Maybe not my favorite word, but one of my top 10, let's say. I don't know. There's a lot of words I like, but freedom's a good one. Freedom is the ability to choose. It's not the illusion of choice that you get in communism, where it's like, oh, we have rent's going to be fixed at $2,000 per month for 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartments. That sounds so great if you live in New York City or something like that, like Zohran Mamdani world, where we're going to try to get into that a little bit in the topic.
Later.
And you realize when you go to the store and you can only buy like bread for $3 and it's not going to be ever above $3 and you're only capped to buying 1 loaf of bread and you have a party for your family, you start running into issues really fast as society when you're like, you can't have big gatherings, you can't do certain things because it's not with the order of how things work. Society's like, no, you're not allowed to do that. And
so I don't know if any of you have seen the protests that have been going on in America about Venezuela and saying, oh, like not Mamdani, Maduro.
It's all right. Too many of them.
Too many M's. But a lot of people are protesting and saying, "Oh, this person, he needs to be in power still. Give them back their president." And in Venezuela, all of them are cheering that they don't have him anymore. It's just like, why are so many people in America believe in communism or want to support it and stand by it when it doesn't work, and when you could absolutely see that? How blind are they to see that in Venezuela all the people are cheering, they're so happy, but they're like, oh, they're brainwashed, or they're not cheering, they're not celebrating, they're sad that he's taken away. It's just so stupid.
I think talking about the blindness, I think, is a perfect point of just something that we've seen a lot of in the world, between the upside down, the inside out, everything's backwards. It's the confidence of ignorance.
It is the confidence.
It's the confidence of ignorance. People think they know what it's like to live in Iraq, Iran, Venezuela. They know what it's like they got their leader taken away. Give it back. No, they're cheering, and you don't understand that they're cheering. And they're actually happy that the leader got removed because he was forcefully in power. He put himself there and remained there.
Yeah, and if you look at like a country right next to Venezuela or somewhere along like in that area, Guatemala was a really bad, poorly ran country with a dictator. And now they're like one of the nicest countries, and their GDP is skyrocketing. They have so many good resources. Everybody wants to move there or travel there. It's a beautiful country.
I love Guatemala.
I love it.
I worked with many Guatemalans in restaurants before, and very nice people. They make great food, and
I think
it's great to see other countries on the rise versus what's happened to Venezuela in terms of it tanking. And we should be at a nice turning point right here with things going the other direction, and it's going to take some time. There's going to be some road bumps and some things going on.
A bunch of so let's just say a lot of Venezuelans fled a dictatorship.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now they feel more inclined to go back because they have their country back, and we gave them their country back, or President Trump gave their country back. And if you don't like President Trump, this is something you should like. And for the people that don't think that he's allowed to do it, he is allowed to do it. He can forego Congress's approval for 48 hours and send troops and send military into a place. And if it lasts over 48 hours, then he has to get it approved for 60 days. So if anybody, it is in his presidential clauses. So for anybody that doesn't think that Trump is allowed to do that, he certainly is. And we've seen it with Obama when he killed bin Laden. We've seen it in multiple different areas in our presidencies throughout time, when presidents would send military into a place for 48 hours and get the job done, and then they'd come home.
Yeah. We're just honestly trying to clean up the world at the end of the day. That's what Trump's trying to do. He's like, we got a dictator, communist regime leader, allied with China and Russia.
Who wasn't even elected.
It's like we're literally doing the work of the people and they can't even do their own work because they're so, like we were saying, they're making $3,000 to $8,000 per year. So how are you gonna be able to rise up to the regime? You can't.
And in 2019, there's videos you could find them. They're surfaced, of he sent the military against people trying to revolt against him, and they ran over civilians with army tanks. So
yeah, it's just not okay. And yeah, he called out Trump, to be fair. There was a video, I think I saw it maybe a few days ago or a week ago, and he called out Trump being like, "You want me? Come get me, you coward." And Trump, the gangster he is, he said, "We'll get you, and we got you."
Yeah, and it was the perfect storm. They tried it on 2 different other occasions, and the weather wasn't good. And then the other night, they were able to just go in, weather was perfectly fine, and just instantly get him. And it was not even like 2 hours.
He tried to make it to a stronghold, but Trump, he was one chess move ahead of him, and let's just say he's sitting in New York right now.
In a prison, where he should be, because there was a $50 million bond on his head. So
pretty penny.
Pretty penny. So hopefully the U.S. gets that $50 million back.
We'll see. He might pull an El Chapo, though. I wouldn't be surprised. El Chapo, he goes, disappear. Now you see me, now you don't.
I don't think he's disappearing, though. But
probably not.
Yeah, I mean, any other thoughts?
No, I think that sums up the Maduro situation, Venezuela. For now, I mean, keep an eye on oil prices. You might see them kind of steady or fall. It's such a small percentage of oil. I don't think it's going to make a dent.
I think in a year it'll probably decrease because now that but I think we might put military strongholds there and just
I think we're in a
smooth transition.
I think we're gonna have a stronghold, not a stronghold, but we're gonna have a foothold in Venezuela.
Yeah, and have
by helping them smooth transition to restructure things. Because we want the new leader. It's not gonna be like it's not gonna be like I'm getting elected for Venezuela. It's gonna be some Venezuelans getting elected for Venezuelan president, and they can run their country and they'll have some help from U.S. as we go because we're such a big country. We're
now we get a good oil deal.
And we get some good oil. So save on gases. Thanks, Trump.
In a year.
In a year, give it some time. But gas has been relatively low recently, so can't be upset with that. Can't be upset with that.
Right. All right.
Sweet.
We'll be back right after this break.
After the break.
As you can see, we're self-sponsored. And it is Christmas time. Merry Christmas, everyone. The season of giving. So follow us at trustandtruth.co and follow us on all of our platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, and Twitter. And you can get our limited drop merch, and you can donate for our mission trips, our college campus tours, our in the street interviews, and so many more. So hope you enjoy the video, and good luck. Merry Christmas, and hope you all have a happy and healthy 2026.
Hey guys, we're back from break. Thanks so much, Justin, for filling in our lovely sponsorship there.
Oh, of course, it's the least I could do. I love holding trees.
Big tree hugger?
I am.
Gotta stay green.
I gotta stay green.
Anyway, back to topic here. We're talking about Zohran Mamdani, everything related to him, his inauguration speech he recently gave. Let's go into it.
All right, you want to start?
I can kick things off, and I really want to start with his inauguration speech. In terms of when he made the quote about how individualism is a myth and it divides us, and that communism or society or community is what keeps everyone together. And I think that is just so backwards from what America stands for. Like America, the Constitution, it's all about freedom, about individualism, about kind of building from the ground up, which starts at the individual to then impact the society, not the society to impact the individual. If that's the case, we can go back to Nazi Germany. And was society great then? I would say no. I would say communism doesn't tend to work very well.
Or even in Venezuela or North Korea or China. It doesn't work, and these people are being taken away their freedoms of being an individual and being for the collective. That's where I would stand on that.
Exactly.
I want to say a big thing that I didn't like is that he swore in on a Quran, which in New York City, in America, freedom of speech and freedom of religion, the First Amendment's important, but...
Should we just forget history, Justin? Wait, what happened in New York like 25 years ago or so?
9/11?
Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. And who'd they elect? Zohran Mamdani. What's his background? Interesting.
Who's never held a real job. Let's just say that.
That's just ironic, uncanny, coincidental. a little odd.
Yeah, it is a little odd.
Do you think you could get elected if you go over to like Iran, Afghanistan,
no,
anywhere in the Middle East?
Oh,
do you think we could get elected over there as leaders?
No, I don't think so. And I don't. I think it. I think it goes to show America is based off of Christian values and Christian beliefs. And electing someone who swears in on a Quran is everything that America doesn't stand for.
Yeah, I would say, well, to an extent, I would agree with you. And I would say it might be a little extreme because we are definitely freedom of religion, but to the point of not imposing a different religion than what the country stands for. And this country was founded on Christian principles. Maybe not everyone is a Protestant, not everyone's a Catholic, maybe not everyone's Jewish.
Yeah.
So be it. That's fine. You can have, believe what you want to believe, but when you start imposing that belief on the nation itself, that believes something different, it starts, everything gets like washed. It's not a whitewash, it's like a Muslim wash or something.
Yeah, and it's just like, you see it in Minnesota, Michigan, you see it in Philadelphia, you see it in a lot of cities where Muslims are taking control over those cities, and they're allowing people to pray 5 times a day to a different place. Think of it. We're in America, and they're not praying to America. They're praying to a different country.
When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, though, don't we say one nation under God? So my question is, do they say under Allah? Are they able to change it to Allah? Or do they say under God still?
I hope not.
Well, I'm just wondering, where does the line get drawn?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
that's the question, right? Where does the line get drawn? Because at what point are you not able to be elected as a New York City mayor or the London mayor or wherever, and you're like a central hub of finance and economic kind of circulation, currency, all of these things, ideas, jobs, things going on, and you're a big spotlight in the world, and you're saying individualism's bad and community is good. But what builds a community if not individuals?
Yeah.
Who's building it? Oh, it's top down. Oh, if it's top down, then so they like having all the power and the control. They don't want you to have it. That's what they're saying. They want you to own nothing and be happy. 2030. That's their goal.
Yeah.
Literally, that's their goal. And they don't want to tell you that.
And it's build as many mosques as possible. It's pray 5 times a day to a different country. It's, live under Sharia law. It's this and that. And it's, you give them one thing and they're going to take everything else from you.
Yeah, you give an inch, they take a mile. That's how it works. Because they're like, oh, we can get elected. It's all right. He's not wearing, not the full Muslim attire. He looks, he looks pretty normalized. He looks very culturalized with the U.S. culture. He's cool. He's hip. He does rap music too, right?
Yeah,
he's a rapper.
I love the fact that he says...
And he wants to keep rent low. People love rent low. Yeah. And you know what? Free buses.
Terrible idea. Terrible idea.
But it's free, Justin.
That's a terrible idea.
Why is it terrible?
Because so many homeless people are going to just live on those buses.
Oh,
it's going to be the worst place. Nobody's going to want to ride buses anymore. Nobody's going to ride any public transportation in that city. And the best
Is there any example we have in the United States of it not working well when we give people free things? Is there 1 or 2 examples or any city?
I think you know the answer.
Yeah, I think there might be 1 or 2 or maybe any major city in the United States. Just go there and tell us. You tell us. Does it look good? Does it look clean?
I can tell you, Seattle, Washington, terrible city. Portland, Oregon, terribly ran. Antifa has taken over both of those cities.
Just go to New York City. If you've ever been in New York City, not very good there. So we'll see what Mamdani does. I think it's going to get worse instead of better. I think we're going to see all the money leave New York. Yeah. We're going to see them flee to states where taxes are better and people aren't getting things for free from the people that have the money there. Because the people that have the money, they know how to have tax havens. Yeah. They know how to use money wisely, unlike the poor people that don't know how to use money wisely, who are living on the streets. You have the people that are rich and they're paying 0 in taxes. If not, they're getting credits in taxes from their businesses. Mm-hmm.
I did also want to say something about Mamdani.
Oh, yes.
But I forgot what I said, what I was thinking. Mamdani isn't just, he hasn't had a real job, and he claims he doesn't take money from billionaires. And he hangs out with George and Alex Soros all the time. The day he got elected, who was he with?
They're billionaires, though.
A billionaire. Alex Soros, who funded his campaign, who funds all the protests in New York City, the No Kings, the pro-Palestine, the Venezuela protests going on right now. All the protests that are funded in New York City are funded by George Soros and Alex Soros, his son. Anything else? And other companies, but companies that he owns.
And we love our lives. So in case anything happens to us, just know we love our lives.
Yeah. No, we don't want to do anything to ourselves.
But we're just trying to expose the reality of the situation for what it is. These things are happening slowly but surely. They're happening, and they're using it under the guise of love and the guise of peace and the guise of keeping things cheap and low cost to make people happy and be able to live a good life. And that's the guise that they're using to sell communism to you or sell socialism as a facet of communism.
Well, unfortunately, I think communism is a big thing in college universities now.
It is.
There's huge college communism groups in huge institutions around the world. NYU, one to state, but where they're teaching kids about socialism and communism, and so you got to be a freedom fighter. We got to have a rebellion and revolution on capitalism.
They're flipping everything. They're starting to call like Mao, like not a communist. Like I don't even understand.
Yeah,
it's like everything's getting flipped upside down. So now Karl Marx is now somehow like that's a good thing to be Marxist. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Karl Marx was the founder of communism and Marxism, but he was never empowered to implement it. But every person that's ever been empowered to implement communism or socialism or Marxism and whatever, political regime, authoritarian dictatorship, whatever you want to say, it never ends well. All the people are starving. All the people hate their lives, and they want to rebel, but they can't because the military...
Can I get some rations, sir? Can I get some rations?
No, sorry. I don't have any money for you, but all my money's in my mansion.
That's how it goes.
It's all gold. I mean, you saw it in... What country?
The oligarchy,
Saudi
the
Arabia.
oligarchs. Yeah, it's horrible.
The Assad family just fled. They had millions of houses, like... big, huge mansions full of like gold and stuff. Like,
they do.
How is this possible when all the people are starving, but you're living in your, penthouse? It's like, oh yeah, I'm so happy. It's like, how?
Well, they're choosing like, well, we can't just like share this with everyone because then everyone can't live this. Like, it wouldn't go that far, but it does. Their money actually goes pretty far.
Yeah, but I look at it like this: if you want to be a communist dictator, why do you have why do you have all the money for yourself and not give it back to people? Like, why are you so greedy enough? And it's like,
especially when they have way more than they need.
They have way more and nobody else has enough.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, I'm gonna sit here and be happy. It's just like, and I'm gonna get everything, but nobody else, and I'm gonna be like, oh, my people are struggling or my people are doing just fine, and you're gonna just sprue a bunch of lies in the media. The real thing is capitalism works, and we've seen it to a large scale, and so everyone should be pro-capitalism. You know why all these people protest? Because they have the right to do it under the First Amendment and under capitalism. If you lived under a communist regime, do you think you could go out and protest your president and say he's a dictator or a communist? No.
They wouldn't allow you. Yeah, they wouldn't allow you to do it. Just like you look at Israel. You're allowed to be gay in Israel, and if you go to Palestine, you can't. So these are things that people don't want to talk about.
You can be gay in Europe, but you can't be gay in any other Middle Eastern country.
Yeah, it's a backwards world that we're living in, and I think if we continue to let this kind of Muslim influence, this Islamic regime influence start infiltrating into America, it's a slippery slope. Yeah. Because we start losing God. God now becomes Allah or becomes fill in the blank. You want to put your name there, you can. Yeah. Like, it's going to become a mess in terms of where's the order, where's the natural order of things. And there will be no natural order. It'll just be pure chaos and entropy. And then they'll say, things are getting too crazy. We need a one world order. Yeah. It's where things are heading, guys.
Better put an end to it now.
Trust in truth. Seriously.
Yeah, literally. Any final remarks on Zohran? Zohran the moron?
Zohran the moron Mamdani. We want you guys to wake up. We want to hear why you voted for him or why you would support him. And if you don't, why not? Like, why are you fighting the good fight? Why are you fighting on our side of things? Or maybe you're not fighting on our side. Maybe there's a third or fourth or fifth side of it that we're not even thinking about. So we'd love to hear everyone's thoughts, comments, concerns, considerations. Please, always like the video, subscribe to stay up to date. Any final remarks from you, Justin?
And we're going to start doing weekly newsletters going around throughout politics and Christianity. That'll be on our website. We're going to start a Patreon soon. We're just building and growing as fast as possible.
Yes, we're going to try to stay active as possible.
The holidays get a little,
little crazy around the holidays, so we appreciate your grace during that time while we weren't uploading as much, not as many shorts or lives, anything of that nature. But we do try to stay active as possible. Again, we're self-funded, so the more you guys help out, the more videos we can make and the bigger our team can grow to help edit these videos, because they don't just go out instantly. It does take some time to make sure everything looks good, might take a couple takes. So everything's not always perfect here, and we're trying our best for you guys. So again, any comments you have, feedback, please like and follow our journey. And we really hope to catch you guys on the next one.
Keep following the truth. See you guys.
See you guys.